Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the Streamers Paradise Podcast. I'm Hazy. We got Clutch and Bo. What's good, boys?
Everybody, what up?
Chilling. What you guys doing this week? Anything fun? Anything special?
Oh,
Don't seem so fucking.
I had a fucking no, dude. I'm tired. I had to sit in every year for real estate every 2 years, and then they just changed it to 3. We have to do continuing education, right? Usually, I do some. We don't have to pass a test. I don't even know what the point of it is, but we just have to do it. So I usually just pay for some classes online. Press next, wait for the time limit to go, take a test that doesn't count a score, press all A's, get it wrong, right? They'll tell me which ones are wrong, then I press all B's until I pass. This year, they made it mandatory, my office made it mandatory for a sit in a 2-day class, literally 9 to 5, listening to some guy fucking talk. I wanted to off myself.
It's a Zoom meeting, obviously, right?
No, in person.
Oh, wow.
Let it go. If I was in a Zoom meeting, I'd be fine. I would probably would have gamed for 2 days straight.
That's true. But
I would have been happy.
There was no test on this afterwards?
No test. No test.
Interesting.
But it's nice because it was free. So
what was it about? It wasn't like
so it's a continuing education for real estate. So it's just bullshit about real estate, how to do real estate, and then part of it is on ethics. Ethics is mandatory for sure.
For some reason, I heard like pointless human resource meeting. For some reason, like that's what
no, it felt like that though. It felt like that. No, it's for the real estate stuff. But there is a lot of changes in the market. Like, have you guys heard about the lawsuit? Our lawsuit? Probably not. No. So some class action lawyers, big shot lawyers, National Association of Realtors, Remax, Keller Williams, a couple big brokerages for buku dollars. 400. I think the NAR settlement alone, like the National Association of Realtors alone, is 400.
Wow. What does that even mean, though?
They have to pay, so the lawyers are going to get all the money. It's a class action lawsuit. Nobody's getting money except for the lawyers.
I thought class actions mean that there's a ton of people that get
usually money. That's what it usually is, but I don't know how they can go back and track every person that's bought a house. The history of time since no, but this doesn't backdate to a certain point.
It has to.
You can, but
well, you know what it's going to be. You know what it's going to be. They're going to end up putting out public service announcements where it's like, if you bought a house between this time and this time, or
or something, you'll have to go claim it later and
come claim, right? Because I'll tell you what, before me and Chi got married, I thought I was going to have to file for bankruptcy because she had really good credit. She has really good credit, and I didn't. And I had a lot of debt. I thought I had debt. The reason why I thought I had debt was because if anybody knows my story, they know that I've been on drugs in my past, pretty heavily. And part of being a drug addict is going to rehabs for a couple days and then leaving and going to the doctors to try and get pills or some shit. And you don't have insurance and you don't have nothing to pay for it. So those bills just pile up. And essentially,
at the time, you don't give a fuck either.
At the time, you don't give a shit, man. I was getting stacks of bills. Yeah. And then eventually what ended up happening was I got my life together and I had to figure out my finance situation. So I called a bankruptcy lawyer and they got me all set up to do it. And then they realized once they did my background check that I didn't actually have any debt. I owed maybe $1,000 or something, which was more than what I paid. Which the lawyer was more than that. Paying for the lawyer was more than that. So they actually had to refund me my money, the lawyer. But I didn't get it back for 3 years. I literally was like, so you can't file for, they called me and they're like, yeah, we can't file bankruptcy for you. You don't owe that much money and it's illegal. I was like, okay, so what does that mean? I just paid you to tell me that? And they were like, yeah, pretty much. There's no refund. There's no refund policy. But then something happened, some kind of class action lawsuit happened where they had to reach out to me. They had to actually call me and tell me that they owed me money.
Yeah, I was in a class action for a gym. They said the cancellation policy was borderline fraud. Is you had to cancellation policy was like 3 months, and at the time I just paid the 3 months and like whatever. But I didn't even, they didn't call me. I got a check in the mail for like $20,
Yeah.
which was like less than the 3 months. I was like, what? Thanks, but like,
Yeah, well, it's, I mean, there's all types of things like that go on. I'm right now I'm totally enthralled with the level of I don't even just the disgusting shit that's going on in the gaming scene, from Dr. Disrespect to Mr. Beast's fucking team to now Kai Sanat's cameraman. All these people are getting caught texting and talking to minors, man. Like, what is going on? What the fuck is happening? I don't necessarily think 17 and 19 is a big deal, though. Is that crazy to say? 17 and 19? Like, what the hell?
my parents are, nobody bats an eye because of the age, but my parents are 11 years apart.
My parents
18
are
to
10.
18 to fucking 7's a big deal, right? But 65 to
18.
76 is nothing.
No, but it's a big deal. 18 to 28 is kind of a weird thing. I mean, it's not horrible, I guess, but
It's not illegal. But yeah, but it's like, you know, age plays
it's a little strange. Yeah. but 23 and 33, that's what my mom and dad were. So when they had me, my mom was 23 and my dad was 33, and they had been together for a couple of years already. So I mean, 17 and 19, that seems a little seems a little much, man. The 17,
no, it's
19.
like pushing it. It's pushing it. But it's also, I think it depends on the state. In New Jersey, in my state, that would fly. Fine. The age of consent, I think, is 16.
Can't you both be in high school at 19? Like, I think you can go to high school until you're 20.
If somebody was like held back, they would, like, 19 is not unrealistic to be a senior, and neither is 17.
But 18 is a realistic number to be a senior. You can be.
I was 18 when I turned 18 3 months in.
So then, what does that mean for you and the 17-year-old girl that's sitting in your Spanish class that you like? Is that real? That's Romeo and Juliet, right? Like, there's
my wife. I mean, not that we weren't together at the time, but my wife is only 3 months behind me, I guess. Technically, turned 8. Not even 3 months. Month and a half. I was born in the beginning of December. But here's actually a perfect one. I had my kid. I was 18. 17.
No, right. I get that. And it's true. It is mostly an American thing. That's like, Americans have these laws. I agree with them because the life experience thing is a major it's major, man. Like, especially now that I have a child, like, there's no like, you can see how impressionable and innocent they are. You know? Like, I definitely wouldn't have thought so much that it was a bad thing maybe prior to having a kid, because I've never spent so much time close to them. You know what I mean? Like, but they're so impressionable, and I feel like you're impressionable well into your 20s. You know what I mean? Like, is that a crazy thing to say?
I think so. That age gap, like an age gap, like 20 to 30, right? That 10-year gap is a big deal at that age, because the 20-year-olds feel like they know everything about life, right? Like, they feel like they know what they're doing. Oh, I'm 18 years old. I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing. But that 28, 30-year-old has so much more knowledge of how life works, how people are, and will be able to be like not genuine about everything and trick that young, like, you know, the sex doesn't matter, but either way, that 8 to 10 year gap there's a lot of life experiences.
There's more life experience in that gap than now. Here's a good example, right? I'm 37 years old. Okay. Now let's say, for instance, I decide that a 20-year-old, she's 20, right? And we meet, and I have 17 years of life experience. That is almost her entire life. And like, I've been an adult that entire time. Like, that's you can't, the way the world works in those.
Yeah, she's like
there's no shot, man. Like there's
She's
no
looking
shot.
for her
that
first job, and you're on your fourth. You know what I mean? Like so much just
Right.
general life experience.
Yeah, it is. It is massively different. Well, looking at these Mr. Beast, like the Discord stuff and everything like that, dude, it is fucked up. So the
I
Kai
don't
Cenat,
even.
the Kai Cenat thing is, I don't necessarily understand that one because 17 and 19, they're peers. You know what I mean? They're peers. 17 and 19, you're a
There's
peer.
no generational gap there. Like,
No,
there's
none. None. I don't disagree with that. I feel like even now having a daughter, being a girl dad at 17 years old, if she wants to date a 19-year-old, I don't think that will upset me. I really don't. I feel like that's normal. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that's normal. 17 and 19. So I don't know where the craziness comes from that, but the doctor disrespect thing is just straight up foul. Homie's married, has a daughter himself, and
He's in
talks
his
to him.
40s or something.
He's in
He's
his
pretty
40s.
old. Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
that shit, there's literally no excuse. You shouldn't even be flirting with any female at all, let alone a younger female. So moving right
Yeah.
along, the Mr. Beast one is just even worse, man. I don't
That's
know
not.
if
It's not Mr. Beast. It's somebody.
it's
He
Ava
knew.
Ava Chris Tyson
Yeah.
apparently.
He knew
So
though, Mr. Beast the whole time.
Ava is now Ava was formerly known as Chris Tyson. Is a transgender woman. I don't
Oh,
know if they've had surgery or anything like that. I'm not I don't know their transition process. I don't know anything about what they're doing. Um, I just know that they went from being Chris on this platform to then being Ava. And this person apparently had a Discord that was directed toward, not directed, but they had an NSFW section where they had this stuff that was inappropriate images of children, but they were drawings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was like like somebody who has the talent to draw stuff that makes it look real. This person was doing that. And one thing even more sick is that it was like of famous people's children, right? So like,
Yep.
I guess Keemstar. Do you know who Keemstar is?
Yep.
I
It was
guess
his daughter.
I've
that
heard
was
of
his
it.
daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Keemstar is like one of these internet journalists that like covers all the different shit that's going on in the internet
Like
world.
World
Like he
Star,
doesn't.
like World.
Yeah. But I
In a way.
think WorldStar covers music, like more specifically, and like fighting and shit like that, right? This guy just covers YouTube drama, bullshit. And he also does fighting. The YouTube boxing stuff. I guess Happy Punch is the promotion. He owns that. And him and FuziTube or whatever. So apparently that's where it really started to get this kind of fame. They even have a name for this class of like these images. They even have a class for it. Like they have it named something. I guess it's called Lolly or something like that. But they had a Discord where they spoke about this and their love for these pictures. And apparently you can see these pictures on the wall in some of Mr. Beast's videos because they go to this dude's house and shit like that. So like it was just right out in the open. And they're saying that Mr. Beast knew of this shit. They're saying that he fucking
They're on
knew
the
it.
wall in videos. No
Mm-hmm.
way to not know.
Mm-hmm.
If he
But
knew about it, he's got a $700 million empire. $700 million he's worth.
and then what Zombie saying right there in the chat, Jake the Viking, he's actually one of the people that started with Mr. Beast. Like he was like kind of like the original like 5 in the videos. But he quit. Like he actually dropped out of Mr. Beast's team. He said I think at the time that he just didn't want to do it no more. He wanted to focus on himself. But since this been happening, he's been popping up on Twitter, kind of talking about it. Like he said when Chris came out with like the first allegations, first thing he said, Jimmy knew the whole time. Like which is crazy to even think about.
What do you think happens? What do you think comes from this? Because there's going to be a full-on investigation. If you think the feds are not going to take his computer, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the thing.
they don't play when it comes to this shit.
I've been keeping up to this topic. So the thing is, I watch so much different vlogs, and they come up with more different shit each time. And there's supposedly like proof of Mr. Beast being in that Discord, going along with the chats, commenting what Chris Tyson was doing and shit. I'm sorry, Ava. And yeah, man, it's not looking good. I feel like he's definitely about to get canceled.
So here's the other part of it that seems nuts is that I watched one of those videos too of one of their early people that worked there, and he showed an alarming amount of proof that Mr. Beast videos are fake.
Oh, 100%.
Like an alarming amount of proof that the videos are fake.
And I
heard somebody
called
talking
it
about
out.
this. Not really doing what he.
No. Not, he's definitely giving away stuff, but he's giving it away to his friends. So like this dude showed a video where like, okay, so for instance, it's also apparently the way that he does his raffles and shit, I guess, are totally illegal. Like there's a bunch of shit that's going on. Apparently he tells people like somebody that buys a shirt in the next 30 minutes could win $2,000 or will win $2,000. They'll have like money put in their package, right? Like I guess they do live streams where they're packing merch and different things right on stream, and Mr. Beast will be signing it and the other guys will be signing it. Apparently he's not actually putting the money in there. Like there was a kid that was expecting to get like $100 bill or something in his thing, and they had like an interview with the mom who's like, yeah, he bought the shirt which was like $42 and he thought he was going to get $100, which is why he bought the shirt, right? Because the Mr. Beast
becomes fraud.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And you can't promise.
That's pretty fucking serious.
Serious shit, man. You can't do that stuff. If you're not giving away the stuff that you say you're going to give away, it becomes a fraudulent act. And depending on the state you're in will depend on what's legal and what's not, obviously.
Didn't we talk about some female streamer who was not with money, but I don't remember. It was like the cakes, baking cakes company. Not that she was giving away money. I don't remember. This was so long ago. Do you remember this?
You talking about Pokimane?
No.
No, that was
somebody small.
That was Cookies.
Yeah, she had like
cookies. They were doing some fraud stuff too, no?
Cakes? I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's a podcast. They'll find it. Somebody will.
So what happens now that he's only made one statement, right? I mean, Mr. Beast has literally, we've talked about Mr. Beast on this platform so many times because we have said over and over again that to be Mr. Beast like, right? To be able to give away PCs and he gives away $1 million every video, right? Like win $1 million.
He's always talking about, or he's building a village in Africa or something, bringing water to people.
Doing something crazy. He seems like he was uncancelable.
He seems like he was just doing things out of the kindness of his heart.
It did seem that way, didn't it? It seemed like he found the secret spot on YouTube where you can get 40 million views in a day, because that's what he was doing. Do we even have any idea what that kind of money is? 40 million views that is family friendly? 40 million.
What'd you say his net was worth? Was 700 million?
700 million, but he's got, Mr. Beast burgers. He's got the
Feastables, chocolate
and all this stuff.
Got chocolate bar.
I've been like a fan myself just because my son, like Lucas, like he's 8, so like he watches his videos and things like that. But I remember like a couple weeks back,
my kids know who he is. My 5 and 6-year-old knew who he is.
Yeah, he's like big time, big shout out here. But I seen a few of his videos, like a lot of his videos, and you could see there's like previous members that was in this one video in the future video. But he talks about that he was never in the video, or this is a new person. But it turns out he was in 10 videos before this. So like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of fakeness to me going on. And not probably in every video, but in most videos, you know.
So basically, what he's doing is like they pushed the first person out, like stand in the middle of this circle and win $100,000. Right, last one out or the last one in wins 100 grand. The first person out apparently was this guy that worked in the back, you know, behind the scenes of Mr. Beast, and they gave him a car, right? Like, so then later he won $10,000. Like, so he's giving money to people. Obviously, it's a tax write off, but like he's giving it to his friends, and it's not random. It's not some subscriber that they flew in, right?
Because just some random person.
That's what it's supposed to be. He's supposed to, you know, comment below, and maybe you can be on the next, you know, Mr. Beast video. Apparently, the guy that made that video is driving past Mr. Beast's headquarters, not hoping or waiting to see the feds, like knocking down the door. I forget what that guy's name is, man, but he made a hell of a video about how things are just going to come crashing down. He said that he was in the middle of making this video when all of the Ava stuff came out. But yeah, it's just the tip of the iceberg. I imagine we're going to see so much more of this day by day, and nothing about it.
Well, it's going to be if there is fraud and or child pornography, like this will be plastered all over the
place. It's gonna be a serious fucking offense. Can you make sure to bleep out what he said about that? Make it next time. Say corn. Say CP or corn. Apparently, it's a big no-no.
True.
Oh, okay. Mark it.
Yeah, man.
I got you. I marked it. I have a stream marker, so you should be able to find it in the little yellow line. It should be.
Bet.
There's
Yeah, I was gonna say because my my auto mod actually caught something.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know I had an auto mod.
it's just one of those things that
Guess we're doing podcast on your channel.
No. Yo, so moving along from Mr. Beast, remember when he did that Squid Games thing? Like he did a really good job making that Squid Games Squid Games video that he did, where he did Squid Games.
I like a lot of his videos, honestly. Like that, I would have loved to be in that competition. Honestly, that was pretty dope.
They're coming out with season 2 of Squid Games.
Oh yes, I heard about that. That was already. Is like a release date now?
Yeah, they got a trailer and everything. It's got the announcement. I don't know when it's coming out.
Ooh, that's lit. That's awesome.
Yeah. So 2 things I've never watched: Squid Games and the Mr. Beast video. Like I've seen clips.
Seen a single one?
I've seen clips, but I've never sat down and watched the whole video of it.
Pretty entertaining.
I've seen clips and I know who he is, but I don't know. I never watched the whole. Now he's really not my. I really don't.
No, that's something different, Kyle. I heard about that too.
Different. So this comes out December 26th. December 26th. This is season 2 of the actual show. There is the game show where I actually talked to Chi a couple times about it. I was like, yo, they're telling you're gonna be away for 2 months. Because that's what it says. I looked through the whole application and everything. I couldn't imagine getting on there and like that's what I'm promoting is SP. Could you imagine me being on a Netflix Squid Game show talking about Streamers Paradise?
I put us out there, right? Fuck it.
But yo, I definitely was thinking about it, but I had already had my daughter at that point, and I'm like, nah, man, I don't want to be away for 2 months. I don't know how people do that. I can't be away from my kid for longer than a couple hours without me getting real like not frustrated, but like concerned, like what's she doing?
What's going on?
Yeah, how's she feeling? Is she happy? Is she sad? What But yeah,
Funny,
Mr. Beast.
Sometimes, like I have a work trip or something. I'll be nice, like I'm not kids, like then I'm on the work trip. Like, all I'm doing is every break I get, I'm FaceTime. What you guys up to? What's everybody doing?
Mm-hmm. You don't realize You don't realize that
You
they're your
realize that
best.
when they're not, they're pestering you. Like it's too
You know?
quiet.
Yeah, for sure. You start to get a cut. Right now, my daughter is doing this like chirping thing. Do you know? You know what the fire alarm sounds like when it's dying?
Oh, shit.
Right?
Really?
Like that whistling squeak. She knows how to make that exact noise, and she does it while she's pointing at stuff. And she's just like, ee, 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 ee. And like that's how she talks. Um, yeah, it's funny for like the first 5 minutes, and then you're like, what do you need?
Chill.
What is it? Tell me, because I
And when
don't
she's
know.
then she stops doing it. You're like, what's wrong? You're
Yeah,
upset. Like,
well, you can tell the difference in the tone.
at the
You know,
tone.
like the tone of it is like the high pitched is she's happy, and it gets lower and lower as she gets frustrated. Just- I can't
Probably
wait
trying to
until
tell
she
you
can
something.
talk. I can't wait until she can talk because she does a little sign language. You know, she'll do up, she'll do more. You know, she'll do drink and stuff, but mostly it's just e e. She's good at it, man. She just points at what she wants. She knows. Um,
I remember trying to teach. Same thing. They learn the basics. Like I was trying to teach them so they can because they can pick it up before they can pick up speaking. So it's easier. They tell you, it's usually way to tell you what you want, but
mhm.
yeah, the same thing. Then they get like they're trying to say something that they don't know how to say, and I don't know what the hell their
Yeah,
hand
exactly.
gestures are.
Clutch's daughter took her first steps.
She did it yesterday, and it was like only like 2 or 3 steps, right? So we're like, okay, we get somewhere. Today she did like 8 at one time, and I was fucking stoked with that shit, man.
Yeah, but now you
And by
can't put it
Friday,
away.
she's gonna be running.
No. Yo,
Yeah.
she already wants to, like, cause I always like I started teaching her, just always hold her hands. But like when I hold in her hands and she knows like she got her hands locked on my finger, she's full sending it, like trying to run every fucking time. It's so funny.
How old is she exactly?
So on the 4th, she'll be 13 months. So
Right, so
almost.
she's walking right around the same time. Gianna was walking like a week after 12 months. Like, cause at her birthday, right? Remember we were talking about
Mhm.
that at her birthday party. Nobody let her fucking sit down. Everybody had her, right? Like she was
Yeah,
just being held the whole time. But I think she probably would have been walking that day, or like the couple days. Like she was walking 2 days after her party, like pro status.
that's
And
awesome.
now she's running down hills, falling on her face,
Oh my god, I
climbing
get
up
so
stuff.
nervous. I get so
What's
nervous
there to
with
be
that.
nervous about?
Like
They're
just
gonna
like
get hurt, man. They're gonna
I
get hurt.
know they are, and
I am,
that's why I don't want
I am
ever.
great. Me and she are both great with that, and I think it's because we've watched one of our family members make the kids falling make it worse, right? Like I've seen them fall, seen them hurt themselves or whatever, and like it's not that bad. But then mom or dad come over and go, "Oh, are you okay?" And then all of a sudden they're like,
Yeah, it's as soon as I feel like as soon as the parent overreacts, like that's when
Mhm.
like the switch happens. They're like, oh, you're worried. I should be worried too.
So now I go a little too far sometimes with the not worrying, and then like she's like, "No, I think she hurt herself." Like for
No,
real.
that one sounded a little different.
That one sounded different. I didn't. We were outside and she was walking and she was, she had these shoes on and she like tripped over her own shoes, because they're getting used to using
Oh no,
their
yeah,
shoes.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it was at my uncle's house for my cousin's party, and she fell and she scraped her knee a little bit, and she she got up and she cried for a second, but I didn't even look down. I didn't nothing, and I mean literally 2 seconds after she stood up, she stopped crying. She wiped her own knee off, right? She just kept it moving. I look back at her knee later on in the night and she's got a fucking scab. She cut her little knee open and she champed it. I was so proud, bro. I was like, yo, you skinned your knee for the first time and you kept it moving. Like, let's fucking go, man. I was so proud of her, but I also felt so bad. I was like, damn, you really hurt your knee. Like, you really scraped it up. I mean, it was like the littlest scrape. It wasn't bleeding, right? There was no, it was not. It was gone the next day, but like there was a little scratch there. And yeah, I was just happy because she'll knock her head all over the place now because she's that size where she's bumping into the corners of every desk, every table, every fucking ottoman, every chair, whatever it is, she's right there, and then she pushes herself right between you and whatever it is because she wants to be all up in it. So she's just bumping her head and normal things, man, normal things. Get a little rash on her chest because of the teeth, shit like that. She's really a great kid though overall. But the terrible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, is it called?
They call it the
call them
terrible
too.
twos. I think the
it's
threes
terrible.
were worse for me.
It's worse.
I remember. Yeah, I know, right? I felt like Lucas was so bad at 3. I think 2s was like a still good stage.
I feel like two they get cranky, but they get cranky, and 3 they stay cranky, but they get ballsy. That's what it is. 3 they're like, that's when they figure out no. Start telling
So
you no.
do you just like, so how do you deal with that stuff? What do you do?
So me and
When
my
your
whole
kid
family,
looks at
everything's the
you and-
opposite.
when
My
your
kids
kid
start.
looks at you and says no,
Let me put it this way: when my kids are being bad now, I walk in the room, they get a little scared because they know they've been too bad, and I'm the one that's the problem. Is, like me and my wife are the exact opposite. She's
right?
cater, and I'm like, if
Discipline.
one's throwing a fit because he doesn't want to do something, I go, like, I'm not fighting with you, and I walk out of the room. I'll talk to him. Then he comes to me screaming, "But daddy, daddy," and I just ignore him. Please, like, because what ends up happening is he ends up getting over it a lot quicker than me telling him to calm down. It's not worth it, to chill out, to stop flipping out, stop being a baby. Do that. Like, it's like, then they know it's bothering you. Keep on going. So I just ignore it. I literally will just start cutting up food, or I'll just, whatever I'm doing, I'll just go do it. Probably right next to me, but eventually they cut it out. Like, usually a lot quicker. My wife is trying to cater to them.
Okay.
I'm very harsh, but it sucks.
Do you get loud? Like,
That's what
I
I'm
do
about
get
to
loud.
say.
Oh, I
Like
get
with
loud. I get
me,
loud as
I have a
fuck.
I have a
you do? You
tone.
yell?
I have a tone for sure. Like if Brittany can never like at the time control Lucas, like Lucas knows at this point, like I'll sound a certain way and he'll know like to like, okay, I can't fuck with you no more. Like I'll
Yeah, he's
straighten up.
genuinely pissed off right now.
And I think you have to start that early, that tone shit, because like
But
I
mine's a
try to
little
do it with
different.
Daniela in a way, because like I mean she's young, so like she's not like doing shit on purpose, but like she cries for a lot of things. Like if she sees somebody eating, she's trying to like. She wants their food. She wants to cry for it. Somebody playing with a toy that she wants to get. She cries for it. So I have to like kind of say no, no. And then sometimes she gets it. Sometimes she looks at me, but then other times she just cries and still gets it anyways. But definitely start with that tone. I think the tone definitely sets them out straight.
The thing is like this. I do it because because it works. Then they do what they're supposed to do, and I go in the other room. And you know what I mean? Like I do it, but then I like resent it every time. But for me, it's rough. With both my kids, listen really good, really good. Together, that close in age, one smiles, the other starts laughing, and it's fucking over, dude. It remind me of me and my brother. We were kids.
Serenity, that's exactly what I try to do too. When she falls, me and she both will be like, "Oh, what happened? You're okay. Get up."
Start chuckling. Like, what are you doing down there?
All the time. I try to ignore when she hurts herself. I try to do all that stuff so that way she doesn't make a big deal out of it because I know it hurts, right? Like, of course it hurts. I always bump myself or do something like that, and it hurts like hell. But like, what are you gonna do? You got to keep moving. Um, like, so we just recently put these like plastic locks on everything, like on the we
The
childproofed
child
everything.
safety. Yeah.
We childproof the
Which ones
toilet seat.
Which ones did you get?
The toilets too.
The
Wow.
locks.
Yeah, the toilet seat has like this spinning like lever that you put on it. Like one goes on the top of the lid and the other one goes on the actual tank. And then when they try to lift it up, they can't because it's like there's like a fulcrum point. It's like this, and
It only goes so much until you slide it.
Yeah, you have to press the button and then it goes to the side.
Would you use
But
on like the cabinets and stuff? I was like real crazy with.
there's this thing. that has these. It's like this
A big
U
ass
shape.
horseshoe.
It's like a U, yeah, and then you put it through this.
That's what I had when we were kids. We had those. When I was an adult, I was like, I'm not put. We redid our house, like we fully did our kitchen over. Bought this thing. I was like, I am not putting those ugly big ass things on. I went on the search. I found these magnets. It's like a hook and a magnet. So you got to put the magnet on to pull the hook down. So we got to like keep these magnets like on the refrigerator so you go. And it's not like a regular. It's like a pretty strong magnet. You would have to go and like put it on the door.
Oh, it's like on the inside or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So it's on the inside, right? So if this is the door, the hook is like on the latch. You can put like a little tab and it latches. So when you pull the magnet, it just down, pull it open. It pulls the hook open.
Yeah.
It was nice because you couldn't see anything. But man, if I couldn't remember where the fuck I put those hooks, I got the thing on the magnet on the door, trying to pull on it and figure out where the
that's
magnet was at. I didn't want to like mark up my cabinets all because they were like brand new.
I mean, right now the toilet one is the biggest one. The toilet and the garbage. She just wants to, and the toilet is, she's like a dog. She wants to play in the water. Like she just wants to reach in there and splash her hand in the water. She loves water like that. So if I
do that
leave
in the
that
dog
thing,
bowls,
I have to put them up all the time. It's crazy, bro. It's so frustrating.
my kids didn't do it in the toilet, but the dog bowls, man.
Dog bowls. She hasn't gotten her hand in the toilet yet. I just know that that's what she's trying to do. You know what I mean? Like she'll lift up the lid, and thankfully I'm always very much so, like, even if she opens up the lid, I'm there before she puts her hand in the bowl. But I fucking
based on the dog bowl, I know what's coming.
So I saw her in the bathroom today, right? And it's my fault because I didn't put the thing back, right? And she's like, she gets it and she's lifting it up, and I went, hey, hey, right? Just hey, and she went, fucking just shook. You know how you scare the shit out of your kid? They just
what the fuck?
She shook, she turned, she looked at me, grabbed it again, lifted it up, and slammed it down on her thumbs.
Wow,
yeah. Boom! And she just looked at me. She was like,
Smith.
Right? And then eventually she just fucking lets out this, you know, like that. The longer they hold their breath, the louder that scream is. It's terrible, man. That one, she can hit some notes, bro. She can hit some notes. Yeah, she's just like me. That's exactly what she says. She's always like, she's just like you. She's fucking hurting herself. She's stubbing her toe. That's the other thing she did the other day. She fucking closed the door and it hit her foot, right? Dude, kids are like drunk people. I've realized that they're literally like following around a little drunk person. You got to make sure they don't hurt themselves. You got to make sure they don't fall and hit their head on anything. What's like that? Drunk people.
My kids are on this kick of calling me by my first name. I walk in the house and be like, hello, Joe.
Oof.
Go, hello, Joe.
And that's because
I think it's funny. No, they're just like goofballs. Like,
but is that what your wife calls you?
Yeah, I mean Joe or Babe.
Yeah, I'm wondering if my daughter.
They used to be like just go, hey, babe.
Yeah, I wonder if my daughter will end up calling me Babe or calling her mom Babe because we don't say each other's first names. It's actually, if I say Cheese first name, it's like what is it? It's the most offensive thing I can do. It's worse than calling.
When I call my wife by her first name, and I'm not Babe, she's like, my bad. Sorry.
It's usually like if we're kind of bickering a little bit, I'll just be like, oh, God, and I'll say her name, and she'll be like, "Okay, motherfucker, you're pulling up your guns.
Oh,
you're pulling
there. We're there.
My name is Babe. Yeah. My name is Babe.
Sound an awful lot like my wife.
Yeah, I swear to God.
I call her by the name. It's like, especially if we're like in like a conversation, like a heated conversation or something, like, and I say your name, it's like
Everything
it's
else
like
makes
drawing
you
the
one of
fucking line in the
worst.
sand, bro. It's like drawing the line in the sand. Like what?
Uh, so lately, I don't know how Daniela's been sleeping, how your boy's been sleeping, but Gianna's been waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning the last 3 days talking about hi,
Oh shit!
hi,
Well,
right?
You're
For
there.
four
They
or
call
five
it.
hours.
You know what they
4 or
what they
5
call that?
hours, bro. A sleep regression.
Regression. Remember,
Yeah.
my kids sleep straight through.
She's been
This
They might
sleeping through
wake
the
up
night
and
for the
like
last 2
need a drink
months.
or something. What's that?
Bro, she's been sleeping through the night for the last 2 months, and now all of a sudden she's waking up at 1 o'clock in the morning,
Like that.
like
Like a light switch.
like happy though, but and like awake, like not
Like oh wait,
wanting to
yeah,
be laying,
ready to like do something.
like it's a nap. But then I think about it, right? She goes to sleep at 6, 7 o'clock, and she's waking up at 1, 2. That's like 7 hours of sleep. Like
That's
that's a
more
night's
hours
sleep.
sleep than you get.
But that's a night's sleep too, right?
Yeah,
Like
it's
could
a
it be
full
for
night's sleep.
her? Could the 12-hour sleeps be over? Is that a thing? Does that happen?
No, they'll go back to sleep.
uh,
My kids sleep now from
sometimes.
my kids go to sleep at 8. Roughly, I put them to bed at 8. Go to sleep usually. They wake up at like 6:37, ready to roll, dude.
I guess it more
That's
depends on the
Like
nap time too. I feel like if
on
I
the
put her down way too late, way too early, she goes sleep early. Yeah, she only wakes up in the middle of the night probably like a couple times the last few weeks. But we lately been trying to put her down later because ever since after her shots, I don't know, she's had like a later bedtime. So now it's like 8:30, 9ish,
but
and
what
she's been
time
sleeping.
does she sleep until?
And it's now she's sleeping until like 6 in the morning at least. So like that's a good
And
like
how many
8, 9
naps though?
hours.
How many naps during the day?
Only one. She could only have one.
How long?
And that's where it's tricky too, because like Brittany is always like back and forth with this. She's obviously the one doing it because I work all day. Sometimes there'll be a quick 15-minute nap. Like today was a 10-minute nap, right?
10 minutes. Oh my
that's
That
not a
was
nap. That's not a nap.
but she fell asleep like way before 8 today, right? So hopefully she stays out through the night. But I guess I think it was like 2 days ago. She had a 2-hour nap, and she would not go to sleep. I had her
I
up with me
think
to like 9:30. Like
I want to say if it could, and I could be wrong, but I feel like around 2.5, which I think is when we try to cut out like naps all.
yeah, eventually you gotta just have no naps and then let them throughout the whole day, so that way
That's
they
true.
can sleep through the night.
Gianna did send her first message in Gen Chat today.
Let's
First time it happened.
go.
She came up to my computer right here, slapped it, hit enter, threw my mouse on the fucking floor.
I was gonna say, dude, soon she's gonna be a higher level than me.
Bro, she has her own phone that we use. I have to get a new batteries all fucked up in this one. And I think that I'm gonna give her this phone when I get a new one because the one that she has is like an iPhone, and I can't I can't use the store in there on
I
that
can't
phone.
update anymore.
So I can't update anything. And because I can't fucking update anything means that I can't fucking have the YouTube playing on it and then turn the screen off, right? Because what she does is she touches the buttons and then she screams for me to make it start again. But then she's like, give it back, and then she plays with it and turns it off, right? Just like with the Xbox, bro. Like if we'll have her music on the big TV and she goes up and turns it off because it's a button and it's got a light on it, and it's like I can't put it any further up than it is. Like I can't do anything more with it. I don't know what to do about that. That's gonna be a rough one.
My
It's
biggest
hard.
We need to get a new house, man. We need to move and find it. I also found out never mind, I can't talk about that yet. No, for real, I can't talk about that yet because you never know what happens. Huh?
Let's skip it. Next.
Yeah, no, it's not a big deal.
Um, my biggest problem has been and still
Will
is
be
body training. No, man, my 6-year-old goes by himself. My 6-year-old's fine, except he needs me close to the bathroom, or me or he needs somebody close to the bathroom with him. So he won't go to the bathroom in school.
Wait, he's 6?
6, and he'll go. No, he goes to the bathroom, but he needs us like close to the. So he won't go in school. It's been a problem. I don't know what to do. The one that's 5 shit his pants today and laughed about it.
No, I asked both.
He does not want to do it, and I don't know what to do. Like I took it. I told him I took the tablet away. He's got they have their tablet, and I'm like, yo, like I try to talk to him like an adult. I'm like, look, you don't want to go to the bathroom, the potty. I'm taking this tablet. He said, for how long? I said, you have to. That's up to you until you go to the bathroom consistently. Because they'll go like here and there, but then sometimes they'll just they go, I peed on the floor. And I want to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
But I don't, clearly, because I'm not in jail. I'm still, my wife hasn't killed me, so obviously good. But
yeah, I've never felt that
dude,
more in my whole life.
I don't even know what to like. I don't know what to do. Like I'm at because like how do I can't control when he goes, right? I can't be like put him on the potty and be like, all right, you're gonna go now. Like I don't know when he's gonna be like, haha, what I did. It's like.
So you have a 6 and a 3-year-old?
5, dude. That one's 5. 5.
So wait, so now
they're 13 months apart
because the one doesn't want to use the bathroom, the other one.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but he uses it. Like he doesn't want to go by himself, so he goes in by himself. But I have to be within. Help, Dad, are you still there? Like from inside the bathroom, and sometimes I'll walk away when he comes out. I'm not there. So he can realize, like, my thought process is like, oh, maybe he'll see that it's not that bad. But then I'm like, or he'll see that like he can't trust me. I don't know, one or the other.
So she was actually telling me something about that today because
I don't know what to do.
My mom has tried to convince us that self-soothing is necessary. You've heard of this self-soothing?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like when they throw a fit, I tell you, like I'll just walk away. Like I'll let them.
Right, but hold on. Let me finish.
Self-soothing?
Yeah, self-soothing is apparently when you allow your child to soothe themselves when they're upset. Instead of holding them, instead of coddling them, cuddling and rocking them, like you just put them in their crib. If they scream, they scream. If they don't, they don't.
Yes.
Whatever's going on in there, it's not your problem. That's basically what self-soothing is. She told me that there's science now that proves that it's not real. That self-soothing is not a thing. Your kids just learn to not trust you. Is that fucked up? Is that fucked up?
Not trust you?
No, like that's a big thing for me because I kind of I'm no scientist, but like that's the thought I have. I don't know if that's like my OCD anxiety part of me or just like my humane part of me, like my humane part of me. Like I told him I was gonna stand there, and then I walked away.
Right, and now
nothing's gonna happen. Nothing is gonna happen. He's fine,
years
right?
old and has his own kid.
But then, yeah, what is it like? I don't want him to think everything like every time I tell him something true or not gonna do it. You know what I mean? It's a dude. I have this fight because when it happens, like he goes to the bathroom, and like I go stand by the bathroom, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just 3 steps farther away when he goes upstairs.
We let Gianna self-soothe sometimes. Like we don't let her fucking scream until she's red in the face and passing out. But if she's throwing a little tantrum, I'll absolutely put her in her crib and be like, "Yo, timeout."
Exactly.
Timeout has never made more sense to me in my life. I have to be honest with you, like real quick before we go. I had no understanding of what it was like to be a parent. Zero. I had no understanding, and I feel like I might have cast a couple judgment stones out at other parents along the way over the years. Not like bad ones, but like, man, if I have a kid, they're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that I said things of that nature.
Oh, I've said it. I'm not going to even say I think I said it. I know I said it. Here I am with 5 and 6-year-old on a potty train. Before I'd be like the 5 and 6, like, what are you doing? But now I'm here and I see it.
And it's like, you don't even know how you got there because you've been fighting it the whole time. Like, this is not okay.
Crazy.
The thing is,
Right, it's
like
not like
is
they're allowing
I'm also
it.
not home every day. Right? Like I have to go to the office. I have to go to grandparents here. Wife is not as strict as I am. So it's like it's too many. I feel like that's part of the problem. Is there's too many methods.
We'll get all on the same method.
Yeah, he's probably
The
used to
problem
doing
is
one thing with
the
mommy, one
problem
thing with the
is
grandparents, one thing with the
that's what I'm
daddy.
saying. And like
That that plays
my
a
wife
factor
is
too.
more lenient than I am, and then her parents who are here watching them while we're at work that don't really want to be doing it. I mean, it's not like they're doing it because they want to do it. They don't want us to spend babysitting. So they're even more lax about it. They just, oh, this is what they did today. What did you do about it? Nothing. So that's not gonna fucking work. You know what I mean? If you let them get away with it, and then now I have to come yell at them after they forgot about it, like I'm not yelling at them.
Yeah.
Like what they did was wrong, but I'm already strict when I'm here. I can't be strict for you when I'm not here, because then that's the only thought they will have of me.
You
They've
recall
already
when you
forgot
started
about
them? When you started trying to potty train them?
three that I gave up for a little while because like I'm like, all right, well maybe they're just not ready. Like I don't know what to do.
Okay,
And
I think that was it right there.
what
So
I
like with Lucas, I did it before two. Before two, I did it with Lucas, and
so with Chris, I didn't have a problem, but it was when he was like, I don't like it was different, like because he has the way with his mom and the way with me. Time it was two houses, so it's like a little different. It's like okay, this is who I am here and who I am there. Right? It's not like it's two different directions coming from the same household. It was like he knew when he was with me, this is the playbook. This is how we do shit here. I don't care about your mom's house. So I think it's a little different than it was a lot easier with.
yeah, for sure. The
I don't
back to
think you
back
guys
thing
are
is also crazy. Yep.
well because it's like well he's not. Why do I have to do it? Like they feel like they're twins. Kind of almost treat them like twins. I don't know. I'm gonna tell one they can't do something. Like there's nothing that's like at this age that one can do and the other can't. It's not like one's got his license and one doesn't, where it's like, can't drive. It's like, oh, he's jumping on the trampoline. It's like, all right, we'll go jump with him. Right, so they do everything together.
That makes sense. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
They kiss each other goodnight. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they fucking love each other.
I was just saying that, like, from a general aspect. For me, like, with Lucas, it wasn't hard at all. And I think that was the main thing to it, though. Like, I kind of pushed it on him at such a young age. Like, we had him the Elmo one, and that's what the time where he was super in love with Elmo at that age. And he, like, pressing it plays the song when you press the button, so he'll always press it to flush it. So, like, eventually we tell him, pee-pee there, poo-poo there, And don't get me wrong, though, you have plenty of accidents at that age. Like, he definitely got the floor a lot of times. But he picked on real fast, man. Like, I think I was super grateful with that. I always try to recommend that for everybody to always, like, start young. That's the only way to do it, honestly.
Real quick before
no
we
problem,
bounce.
Deadly. Just let me know, Deadly's. I was gonna say that like the 6-year-old, he was potty trained a year ago, like fine, at 5, but at 5 on the dot, I literally was like, we're not doing this anymore. And I like it was like he was like, I'm not doing it. He would hold his pee literally as long as he could. I got to a point where I was like I'm not doing this. I literally just threw the diapers in the garbage. I was like, here's your underwear, and he got it, and with no accidents. I was like, this is crazy, but okay. I did the same thing with this one. It's the same age, the same thing. Motherfucker just F's. He's on the floor.
That's fucked.
And I'm like, fuck, I don't even know what to do. Like I said, dude, I look at him and I'm like, bro.
So real quick before we have to get out of here, did you guys see that Cobra Kai season 5 is out and that it's being followed up by a movie?
Oh.
And the movie's gonna bring Jackie Chan from the other movie into it?
Karate Kid?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So right now,
what about Little Smith? Is Little Smith coming?
I don't know, but it would make sense if Trey was in the movie, right?
It would, yeah. No, if they're bringing Jackie Chan in, then yeah.
You would think that
he did that movie good. I watched that movie and I really liked him, like his acting at that age.
I like that they didn't use like he didn't play Mr. Miyagi. It was a whole different thing, but they
Yeah.
still called it the Karate Kid, and it was still the same concept. But now they can tie the two worlds together. Yeah, so I'm watching the last season of it. The last,
Episode.
no, not the last episode. The last seasons. I just started it, and I'll tell you what, man. There is a massive, a massive amount of emotion that I've been. Like, there's just a lot of feel good nostalgia, and more so than the nostalgia, there's a lot of life. One of the things that I really need to learn, and I've done a great job at like doing it in this space, which is like the streamer space, in the sense of, don't burn bridges in the stream, like in this space. Like, it's never good to have enemies. It's never good to have people you're on bad terms with. Like, everybody that you encounter, it should be genuine and pleasant. If you don't get along with someone, it's fine, but like, you don't have to have anger and resentment and frustration towards people, and you can just live and let live. So I have a really easy time doing that with this, like with SP and the internet and building this whole thing, but I have a hard time doing it in IRL life. I feel like when I get into shit with people in my real life, I have no tolerance almost for forgiveness. I feel like people do things on purpose sometimes, and like I feel slighted by that. And I have a hard time letting it go. But in this show, they just really talk about, at least in this season, people have their reasons. You don't really know what's going on with them, and I don't know, dude. I really wish that I could get to a place where I was a little bit more understanding of what other people are thinking and not be so quick to like shut them down. Because I absolutely have some things going on in my life right now. Tolerance to hear from them, like, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't do anything
It's
positive for you. It doesn't do anything,
something.
there's
I'm
nothing
the same
positive that
way.
comes.
It's not, and life is like, it's also like, that's a lot of life is about who you know, right? Sometimes you get to situations, if you know the right people, get
Yeah,
out of
for
these situations, right?
huge thing,
So
knowing the right
if you
people.
burn that bridge without even knowing where that bridge leads, you could be cutting yourself out. My wife got a job where she works 12 years ago. Definitely got a bachelor's. Never burned a bridge. We're good. That's the reason I have a job where I'm at.
Yeah, big time. I have a harder time. Still no communication. Okay. Um, let's wrap up the episode, and then if you want to take it, Bo, you said you were gonna stream. We'll just leave it with you if we have to.
Yeah, I would probably have to end it. I don't know how this is gonna work when I switch to,
Yeah.
because I remember I told you I do 2 collections, so I don't have any of my gaming stuff. Switch a whole scene.
Why can't Why can't you just make a plain old thing real
I
quick?
guess I could make one.
Yeah, just make a plain one so you can switch over, and then you can go to your other collection afterwards if you want to
Yeah,
just be safe. Because if she's not going to
yeah, that'll
answer,
be.
then all right.
Uh,
So let's wrap this up, and then you can edit here. End
Yep.
it here. All right, guys. Thanks everybody for watching. We went all over the place today. Mr. Beast, kids, being parents, all that good stuff. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right, peeps. Have a good one. Bye.
Peace out.